Welcome to the Purity Pulse podcast, your go-to podcast for the natural health industry and everything Purity Life. I'm Erin Macklin.
And I'm Julie Drapeau.
Today we're going to do some regular weekly check-ins. We're going to speak with Alain Menard of Green Beaver.
Yes, exciting.
And we will do some new to Purity Life to close it out.
Yes.
So we're mid to end June. What are you thinking for the summer? This is when we all start kind of thinking about all the plans. Yeah. Starting to get warm.
Nothing happening for me. No,
Nothing
seriously. Summer, I would say work travel, but I'm really focused on more of a later travel this year, a trip to Egypt.
Right.
Because of the complexity of traveling there, we had to postpone. But I'm definitely planning on that. So I'm going through the summer, enjoying the
so
outdoors.
your mind is already beyond the summer.
It's like, summer is done, CHF is coming, and then Egypt.
Are you a summer goddess? Do you like to hang out in the sun?
No. Look at my skin.
No, I know. Like not even
no
beaches for you. No, like you don't feel like come out and be like, I need to be out there.
I love the sun in the morning when I walk. It's like that meditation walking and just having the sun on me. I do like working out outside and feeling the sun, but I wouldn't say that I'm a person who needs to lay down and the whole year I'm waiting for summertime to come.
Yeah.
Because I've been raised to be outside at any season, and in Quebec I was outside in the winter all the time. So where some people definitely like they're looking forward to the year, right? To the summer. Yeah. How you like that? I remember you like fall season.
Yeah, right? I'm happy with any season too. I'm certainly not one that's just waiting for the summer. I like winter just as much. There's lots to do. I love the snow.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, but I think I just get excited for the change of the seasons, right?
Yeah.
So there's certainly parts of summer that I'm looking forward to. I'm sure I'll hit a beach or two in the summer, and we'll do some camping with the kids and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
and especially with kids, you have to learn to help every season. I would think because you need to get them moving.
Yes, yeah. Well, there is something about summer that's a little bit it's
easier.
More free, right? It's a lot easier. You're not getting snowsuits on and gloves and hats just to get outside for the small amount of light that you have. Even just, our regular life, during the school year and whatnot, you're lucky if you're home by 5. When it's wintertime, it's dark. Like you're not going back outside to do anything. So that's something nice about the summer is you've still got light. It feels like you've still got time. Spend some time even on the driveway, throw basketball around, like just stuff like that you can do in the summer that you can't easily do with the kids in the winter. So there is that. That's definitely a big perk.
We ask that often to our guests. If I had a magic wand, I can send you anywhere in the world.
I don't have a big, there's not one specific place in my mind that I would go. I really have not been through Europe. So
and you have origin.
Well, this is the thing. Yeah. I think I'm due to go to Holland or the Netherlands to kind of see a little bit of where my parents were born and where they did some of their growing would be really cool. So
there you go.
Yeah.
We got you on
got a place to go.
Yes. Well, let's get into our interview.
Yes. Thanks so much for coming, Alain. It's so great to have you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So we're just going to jump right into it. You've been growing Green Beaver for more than 20 years. Can you give us a little bit of the background on that and kind of how your role has changed throughout those decades?
Big question.
Yeah, first of all, we never set out to start a company. It just happened, it seems like. So it's been 22 years. We've had the products on the market. So I don't know, roughly 25 years ago. Karen, my wife, biochemist, working in pesticide, myself, microbiologist in the pharmaceutical. Everything's great. We're settling in. We started having a talk about maybe starting a family. Not too long after, I'm cleaning the floor with some fluorescent purple or green, whatever, and she let's go, I yell, kind of not her nature. It's like, what am I doing wrong here? And I rarely would clean the floors. So it's like she had a vision, like she just saw a baby like crawling on the floor, basically, right? And they're always putting their fingers in their mouth. And she thought, you just put that whatever stuff on the floor. What are you doing? So, So I guess it was like Mother Ann wanted to get the nest ready. And gradually, it wasn't overnight there, but gradually, there was no more of that fluorescent whatever floor cleaner. Then something, natural, yin yang, whatever thing had to come in. I was new to this, right?
Right.
So then we'd have to find stores, try to find these products. And you remember, both of you, I'm sure remember back in those days, it wasn't as prevalent as it is
No.
today.
Yes.
We're talking, it was
Options were
not
lean.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we decided to, and maybe it was just a hobby of us. We like to cook, but also we thought, hey, why don't we buy a couple of heating plates, some beakers, mixers, and we'll start just like in the lab, like we did at university, and start mixing stuff and, making our own products. So what do? Well, you give some to your friends and family, and then they say, they start telling you, you should start something, And so that's how Green Beaver was born. Basically, it wasn't born with a business plan. It was born because we had this hobby. And here we are 22 years later. Yeah. So things have evolved from formulating in the kitchen, right? The full-blown lab.
A bigger kitchen.
Yeah. But back then, early on, basically it was myself, Karen, my dad. My dad was a mechanic, so he was very useful, very handy with his hands, like making shelvings or getting equipment in and things like that.
Yeah.
And my mom, she would help in labeling and stuff when the baby was sleeping. She was helping to keep Coco, our son, right? So it was basically the four of us. And you know what? A typical week, it was fun. I mean, I could be like passing a couple hours formulating, and then, you know what? Tomorrow morning we're going to batch with my dad. And then the next day, well, maybe we're going to be labeling those labels, the order labels by hand, by hand. And then there could be, I need to go sell this stuff, so I got to get on the road. So I'm going to go visit some stores. You know what I mean? And
You're
then
doing
it's
it
like,
all.
there's a Green Living show in Toronto. Oh, we better go there and have a booth and sell the products, for the consumers. It was, and then, it's things like, you got to meet with the banks and this and that. So in terms of variety was not lacking.
Yeah.
So, and now, well, of course, I've built a team. You can't go on like that forever.
Yeah.
So that's how it compares. That's how it really was at the beginning. Whew.
How would be your days now? Because from, at the beginning, you were a little bit here and a little bit there, a little bit there. So now would be your typical day.
Well, right now, I mean, I have a senior management team.
Yep.
And glad to say there are 5 of them and 5 women. We are a personal care company. Yeah. Very powered. Green Beaver is a very woman-empowered company.
Yeah.
A lot more planning, I would say. Like right now, it just happens to be we're working on our strategic plan, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So we're just in the initial phase. So a lot of planning, a little bit more thinking, okay, what would we need to have in place in 2 or 3 years should that go increase or whatever? Do we have the equipment? What about the financing and things like that?
Yeah.
But there's one thing that I've always kept and I always will.
Yeah.
I love working in the lab.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I had two formulators, which we trained ourselves.
Yeah.
They had never formulated a product. We trained them.
Yeah.
And they're really good. But I like to be part of we call it the Breaking Bad team.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's funny because you say that. I had that in the back of my mind when you talk about labs. So that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And you do lots of speaking because you're such a great speaker, and I think you're the best to share the Green Beaver story. And I think that there's the lab portion that you love, but I think you enjoy as well being on the road and sharing the story about Green Beaver and why using natural product, right?
Yeah, that's a big part of it too. I would say that's the other thing I love still to do, because earlier on, I did a lot of training. Mm-hmm. I think that's what set us apart from a lot of our competitors at that time, because most of them were coming from other countries, whatever, but we were here. So for me to say, hey, I'll jump in the car and go and do a training. Yeah. And you'll remember, Julie, you actually helped me organize a lot of them. Right.
I'm pretty sure I remember you coming into the store when I was working in Guelph like that. I remember when first hearing about Green Beaver and talking about it with staff, and I think you actually showed.
I would have been
showed us some stuff.
Yeah.
Every town where they were selling natural products, I would have been there.
Yeah, and you were definitely the people knew Alain. You're just saying the name. Oh yeah, Green Beaver, and it was. We've done a lot of training, and it's even though during COVID it had slowed down, I think we're definitely on the big ride back to get out there, and that's really sets you apart for sure. People connect with you. As the brand, which is very important, and we're happy to have you on the road.
Thanks, and thanks for having invited me to all these things. And but I always tell my the employees here, I said, you know what, it's all about relationships.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
From the clients to like Purity Life, it's all about those relationships.
Mm-hmm. It's
ultimately
friends.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what makes it.
Yeah. That's what makes a difference. So I put a lot of emphasis on that. That's another thing I think that maybe makes us a little different,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And one other strength, because we talk about the lad that you love, we talk about, your great speaking strength, superpower, but there's also you have a vision, and you've brought in the industry like products that we didn't have before, such as the organic mineral sunscreen, the toothpaste, the whitening toothpaste. So talk to us a little bit about that and remind us what products that you brought that we didn't have in natural, but also how those ideas come. Like you're the genius behind that.
No. Well, first of all, early on when we started, it's just because we were new consumers and we just noticed that there was something missing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just happens to be. And then if you think about it, the company was like founded by two scientists.
Mm-hmm.
So this company was actually an R&D led company for many years. Still is. The R&D, of course, is always and will always be very important. But that was for us the most important is just the innovativeness. Because when we started looking at the products that, you remember 22 years ago, I mean, natural products were a lot more natural than all the conventional products.
Yeah.
But there were still some lingering ingredients that people couldn't find to replace, right?
Yeah.
And maybe because of our scientific background, we always thought, you know what?
That's your edge.
We can do better.
This we need to replace. So we always try to say, how can we make it more natural? Yeah. And then, how can we come up with something different, that more unique, that's not there? Like probably, the sunscreens were a big accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, it's complex. I remember you speaking about, talking about that. It's very complex to the texture, and you want to replace the ingredients, but then you still have to have that texture that people remember from conventional product. And they're like, well, I want to be protected with natural ingredients, but I don't want to look like a winter snowman outside.
Yep.
Yeah. So, it's a lot of work.
And it's very challenging. Yeah, sunscreens are challenging, and you're dealing with powders and keep them suspended. But we did have experience with toothpaste, which we brought, that helped us with sunscreen. But I think the biggest one was the antiperspirant, because you know what? Very important to sweat. Yes. But there are some people, and still today, that still buy most of their personal care products are natural. They can't let go of that antiperspirant.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to sweat.
Yeah.
Maybe at work or maybe with certain events and things like that. Yeah. But you know what? And I thought we need to do something about these people. We need to offer them something. They have a problem. They don't want to sweat. Right? And their only option is the aluminum. Right. And they feel bad about them. Yeah. They feel bad about themselves because they're trying to do good with their food and this and that. But, so I think that was a big, probably our biggest accomplishment.
Yeah.
I say that, but it's hard because the sunscreen for me now, it's been a few years back,
Yeah. Amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about the longevity of the company and what kind of decisions and whatnot that has got you to this place?
The longevity, I would say, well, we touched a bit about it. The innovative products, make sure it's always one notch above, and stay on top of it.
Yeah.
I would say the relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By far.
Stores,
with the stores.
Yeah.
And also, you know what? That's one of our values at Green Beaver. And people sometimes think, what? We don't believe in perfection.
Right.
I just had a new accountant start, and I said, we don't believe in perfection.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We can always improve. We can always innovate. There's always a little something. We think that we got something that's perfect today, but there's always something else that's going to come around that you can make it even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that strive to always make things better. It's not just the products, but it's the way we do things as well. It could be our processes internally. I mean, just recently, we had been, this is a funny story. We've been, every time we transfer products from a vat or retention vat, we use pumps. And every time we finish, we have to undo the pumps. Yeah. It takes like 3 hours to clean and re-put it together.
Process, yeah.
So, but we've been doing it for so long, you just keep on doing it. And that's
the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the way.
But then we thought, okay, well, what do we use to clean out all the parts? Well, we use the Castile or the hand soap that we have, any kind of surfactant that we have. I said, okay, well, how come then every time if you're pumping through an unscented Castile soap, how come we're putting it apart, cleaning it with it, and then putting it back? We just, you become blind sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you've been doing things and it, for such a long time.
Yeah.
So it was a funny, and then we all looked at each other and we all laughed. We said, oh my God.
Yeah.
It sounds
like though, a lot of what kind of has contributed to your success is actually being open to change. And like what you're saying about, we don't believe in perfection. Well, that's great, but you need to be open to, okay, we're going to change this. And not everybody has that. So I would guess that that's a big part of almost your company culture as well.
Yes. And it's a mindset. You have to work on it. It has to become part of it's a mindset. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have it, that could,
you can't set in your way. Yeah, because you've been going through a lot of transitioning in packaging. And I think that's a testament to that as well, to always adapt to your consumer.
Yeah.
To make sure that the products speak to, and there's, some people would look at it and say, oh, another change. But at the same time, it's an evolution. And I think you've done many of them, right?
I agree. From Alain, when you always see that, it doesn't hold you back from you. You take that feedback or you take that change that needs to happen. We're doing it. Yeah. Go ahead, keep moving forward.
It's if it's better for the company, better for the consumer, just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I think that we come across a lot, when you talk to our consumers, people don't usually, they don't talk about the product, they'll talk about the company.
Right.
Yes.
I think consumers, when they get into Green Beaver, it's more than just about the product. They get into the brand.
Yeah.
About who we are, what we stand for.
What you stand for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was to ask you that actually. Who is your target customer you would see from now? Because through the years it changed. There's an evolution depending on the mix of product or the emphasis you put on a certain category. So who is now that Green Beaver customer?
Yes, it's changed. It's changed. Earlier on, when we started, it was very simple. The mothers.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the young children or soon to be, or,
Yeah.
And often they would get into it, not for themselves. Yeah. More for their baby.
Yeah. Like you did.
Start for themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's breaking
Same thing. So we said, we'll target ourselves. We are the target audience, if you want. And by the way, that's one thing that I'm really proud of is how things have evolved.
Yeah.
22 years ago, when I would approach some kind of consumer show, trying to sell a mother on a natural product, I mean, they would ask me, is it safe? Literally, I would get that comment, that question.
Yeah.
And here we are, 22 years later. Oh my God.
Questions are different.
Unbelievable. These millennial moms are trying to sell me on natural. it's unbelievable. No, but I'm so happy to have seen that whole evolution. If you think back, things have evolved. I know there's still a long way to go. But you know what? The progression, it's just going to go faster and faster.
Yeah.
And now what I'm happy to see, you're starting to see second generations.
Yeah.
We started this 22 years ago. We're targeting moms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of them are in their 20s.
Generation. Yeah.
And the next generation are into it. And I think what they're doing, they're pushing the envelope even more.
Yes. They're even more educated, more ready to get deeply into it, right?
So now we have to focus as that prime target consumer that will want, but then you got to start going younger.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to focus more on the younger generation. Hey, you can imagine when they will have their kids, that third generation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. So that's why the rate of improvement is going to get faster and faster.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Puts more pressure on you guys. Puts more pressure on formulations.
Yeah, that's it. And I saw an evolution and a change too in your marketing and your social media from little presence to now it's much greater.
Yeah.
So definitely your team has tapped into that cycle, which is great. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll
And
be
you do,
honest, for
you
me,
do lots of social.
transitioning,
Yeah.
and transitioning from R&D led to getting into more marketing to get more of the voice out, because it's all awareness.
Yes.
It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we put the R&D aside, of course not. But we're building up like people, a marketing department that know that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find people that have that as their passion, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they don't tend to like to go work in the lab.
No.
They're always on the computer making videos or whatever.
Marketers.
What would you? What do you have, without saying any, revealing some secret on products? But do you have other categories or something that you have that you're like, okay, this is not clean on the market, and there's something I want to do in there? Do you have some stuff cooking in your lab?
Oh yeah, there's always something cooking, and there's always something. There's always improvement to everything. Remember, I don't believe in perfection.
Yeah.
Right. But I would say that the hard ones still in the natural to get to match the efficacy of the conventional, but going beyond.
Yeah.
Right. The hair care is a tough one.
I agree. I was just thinking
especially conditioners.
Yeah. And I'm definitely not in the lab, but that's definitely the category that even on the market right now, it's still so hard to get that feel of people are looking for like foam that thick still.
Yeah.
And then like the, so.
and a silicone feel in there.
That's
really,
it.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was just about to mention that, like, you look at it by product. I look more at it by what ingredient that we need to replace.
Yeah.
And then that ingredient is used in which product. So one for hair care is quaterniums.
Yeah.
And for skin, be it cream, whatever, silicones.
Yeah.
Yes. That smooth finish.
Those are the two toughest ones. The people who invent these type of natural alternatives, they'll get there.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're going to try to figure out by putting 1, 3, and 2 together, it'll make it,
Yeah.
I think those are the two next ones.
Yeah. That's great. I'm very excited to hear that, because that's definitely a big trend. People are looking for their scalp and like treatment that way. And that's a big category. Back in time was definitely the toothpaste and deodorant. And now when you look at that big category, definitely hair care.
Yeah.
There's American brands, but they're like, we need bilingual, and there's no like Canadian brand. So I'm looking forward to your work here.
Yeah. And it's like, you have to look at it this way. Out of everybody that goes into a health food, like a natural personal care section, what are the last products they let go? The antiperspirant?
Yeah.
Hair care, especially the hair color.
Hair color. Absolutely.
Yeah. You go look at it that way.
Yeah.
There's a few other things there, but we'll keep it a secret. It'll be fun.
Yes. No, exactly.
Surprise.
Yes, we like that. Speaking about retailers and your brand, what would you say to retailers when they talk about your brand? What would you like them to say about your brand when they talk to consumers? Canadian?
Yeah, Canadian, of course. Authentic.
Yeah.
Like one of our values now, we just redefined it, but it means the same thing.
Yeah.
We're just down to earth.
Yeah.
We're just down to earth people. We're, always trying to improve. We're authentic.
Yeah.
Personable. We're transparent.
Yeah. Great value.
Very transparent.
Yeah.
So it's like, and passionate.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I like coming in and having people passionate about what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's, feels good.
Yeah.
It's a great list of values to give to a consumer. Down to earth, passionate.
Yeah. I think your booth at CHFA West was just a great testament of that. I loved it.
You're right.
The chairs, the wooden fire,
the lumberjack.
Yeah. Yes.
So nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, that's how I dress on the weekends, but
well, you're authentic. That's all, right?
yeah. There you go. I'm always in the bush or in the garden, or
Awesome.
Oh. Well, let's go into some we call them the rapid fire questions. So out of the take you out in the wild here. So speaking about wild, what was the most adventurous thing that you've done up to now?
I would say I spent 2 weeks and a little bit more in Senegal, going from one little town to the other to these women co-ops where they grow a lot of shea butter, and showing them how to make soap out of the shea butter that they make from the beans. I was like, wow, unbelievable,
Wow.
And they felt like, thank you. And they give you, they don't have much, but they want to give you everything.
Right.
It's like, my God, okay, it's okay. I just showed you how to do something with simple ingredients. No, for them, it was like, So, no, that would be,
Yeah.
Any real standout moment from that trip?
Well, it's how much they're so generous.
Yeah.
They don't have much, but
and yet
generous like you wouldn't believe.
Giving.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's very impressive when you travel like that. I was in India a couple of months ago now, or weeks ago. I lose track of time. And that's really what I got very touched and impressed. People have, I say, zero, nothing. Like they live in a cardboard box on the side of the street. They're smiling and they're very... Like they're happy, and they come to you. They want to hug you, and they're just happy. And it really brings you back to thinking back and say, whoa, sometimes some days I have that weird spiral that goes on, and look at them, right?
Yeah, so you know what you mean. You had that same feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a good one.
All right.
Okay.
If you could do any other career, something different from what you're doing, what would it be?
Back to what I wanted to do, forestry.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I had actually, when I was leaving high school, I was already approved to go into forestry. And then my dad said, hey, I guess the forestry just went right down that summer. For a forestry, it's cyclical, know?
Yeah.
So my dad said, well, you can't go in forestry. You're not going to have a job. So then I thought, well, microbiology, I guess I can learn about fermentation, make some beer. I'm a young guy.
We'll pivot.
17.
Just a small pivot.
I figure, okay, I'll go into microbiology.
This gives me a whole new perspective
our son
on his
right now, he's up in North Ontario, somewhere in the bush planting trees. Second summer, he just loves it.
Oh, nice.
So he's up north planting trees right now.
That's a hard job.
North of,
So what is his future? Do you see that he's going to do your first dream job, or what is he?
Well, I got a project for him. I said, because they work 4 days in the bush and then they get 1 day off.
Yeah,
right?
It's hard.
So and it's very hard. So I said, you know what? I want you to make us some video clips there, or marketing asked me for that. And they said, basically, of you and your friends, telling people, hey, we're a bunch. I'm from Hawkesbury. I'm from Aurora, Ontario. I'm from Montreal, Quebec, up here, and planting trees. I mean, there's been a lot of forest fires. We need to replant the trees. It's good for our environment to save arboreal forest.
Yeah.
And also, you know what? We use pine mint, Green Beaver shampoo because we don't want to dirty the rivers and the lakes that we wash ourselves into. Made with pine essential oils from our trees.
That's great.
That's
so
great promotion.
Basically, Karen said, let him go, give him a few projects. He needs to go and work a little bit elsewhere.
Yeah.
He'll come back.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be some marketing ideas from his time back there.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. So she said, just throw me little projects like that. That way he doesn't feel forced. Then But sometimes you got to let him do his little thing for a while.
Yep.
Well, definitely, and at least it's a hard job. It's really something that is going to come back with some
lots to learn there.
Lots to learn, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now I have a magic wand, and I can send you anywhere in the world. Where would you go?
Yes. Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
Northwest Territories.
Northwest Territories, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to go do the Nahanni.
What is that? Explain to me. The Nahanni?
Oh, the Nahanni River. It's a famous river. Even the voyageurs went through it and traded with the First Nations, and it's just like an amazing river.
Oh, wow. So canoeing over there and spending some quiet time.
Yeah, I'm a big avid canoe camper.
I know.
We do every summer. We like wild camping.
Yeah.
And the Nahanni is on our list. So I don't think we'll be able to do it this summer. I wanted to do it this summer.
Yeah.
But by the time he comes back and he has to finish his master's, he has to submit his thesis and all that stuff. So I said, okay, next year we can't back out. I want to go to Northwest Territories and go across it by canoe.
Amazing.
Oh, wow. You must have been a discovery guy in a past life, I feel, Alain.
Explorer.
An explorer, exactly.
I'm actually always reading about the voyageurs and everything,
There you go. There you go. Is the connection.
Ils ont parcouru l'Amérique. It was actually written by somebody in Quebec. There was really good book. That's what I'm reading now.
What's a fun fact about you that you don't think anybody would know?
Fun. I like to do a lot of wood carving.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, carve around the wood with
right?
Yeah. See, in
nature.
I bought a wood lathe. Now I'm making my
nice.
own little essential oil diffusers. This is like sumac.
Green on that.
That's that. I think a lot of people know that I'm an avid gardener. Like I got the greenhouse tractor, and it's not 10 tomato plants, but 100, and food canning, and this and that. There's that. Also, I did start just a small, like, organic cheese, artisanal cheese factory during the COVID because I was getting kind of bored. Just a local thing. I remember hearing about this.
Oh wow!
Yes, I did start that. What else is on the list there? And then the Nahanni River. I can't get them off my
there you go.
There you go. Well, now we know, like, with the inspiration from the name of Green Beaver. So it's all about the nature and a little bit of the spirit of you in the back there, right?
Yeah. I grew up in a town called Green Valley. Maybe that was it too. But actually, you know what? We wanted a name.
Yeah.
That's one argument I had with Karen. We wanted something that said Canadian and natural, because at that time, and still today, most of the products come from other countries, if you want, And I thought, green moose. Moose. It's majestic. It's big. Karen said, no, it's ugly. I said, no, what do you mean? Look at the nose on that. No. And we know who won that one,
Yeah, that's what I was to say. I think we know who won the argument.
Yeah.
Good choice, though. Yeah, good choice. Good choice.
Almost would have been good too, I think. No, it's past. It's over. It's too late now.
It can be an offshoot.
It could be a second collection by Alain.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Alain. It's always a pleasure to have you and to highlight, our Canadian brands as well. And you've been a pioneer in the industry, and also to help out in taking conventional products that nobody knew how to bring into, like, the conventional options and make them work. So we're definitely very thankful for that.
That passion in R&D has really paid off.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Been great working with you for, I don't know how many years now.
Yes.
Since the beginning. Really?
Absolutely the beginning. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just the beginning.
Yeah, continue a great job. You're very good at educating people, and
thank you.
That's what's gonna make sure that trend continues. Got to continue educating people about all the stuff that we do, and all the great stuff.
We'll plan our next talk on the road.
Yes. Okay, let's do that. Can't wait.
Thanks, Alain.
Thank you.
So now we're at New to Purity Life.
Yes.
And we have Pacifica.
So some new innovation.
Yes.
And some resets of some tried and true favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, for those who are listening, we had the spray bottle that were kind of a square shape.
Yes.
And then now they're going into kind of a more round edges.
Yes. So this is the set of perfumes. They're redoing the perfume line.
Yes, absolutely. And adding to the collection, what fragrance do we have, Erin?
So existing was Dream Moon, Silver Moon, and the Indian Coconut Nectar.
Yes.
Those have always been, some
top sellers.
Top sellers.
Yeah.
And then new is Passion Fruit and Montana Sky and Beach Day.
So what's your favorite?
My favorite, I think, is actually probably still the Dream Moon.
The Dream Moon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How about you?
I think I'm still on the same. I like the mix of Indian coconut and silver moon.
Yeah.
So I like to wear them separately, or I just mix them.
Just mix them up together.
Yeah, to have some type of a more complex kind of fragrance that is just my own. So that is my go-to. What is great with those Pacifica perfume compared to, I would say, the others that were really nice. Like, I mean, on shelf they always stand out.
Yes.
There's more in the bottle now. So the bottles are
larger
bigger,
size. Yeah.
larger size, still great to travel, not too big. And I think that the collection now is really complete because you have people that like fresh.
Yeah.
You have fruity.
Yeah.
You have flowery.
Yeah.
And
Into
you
the
have
musky.
Yeah, musky. So there's really now
there's something for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And age-wise, I would say that it really touched everybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, because you have those more fun and there's not really age in perfume. I mean, it's all about what you want to wear and what you want to feel like. And they've really well captured
and age-wise, I mean, even packaging-wise, they're so fun and colored, but they're also classy.
Very classy. Yeah, it's not like a tacky look.
No.
It's really and the packaging really reflects the name of the product, the perfume, their scent exactly.
Yeah.
So make sure to check out. We're gonna have that out very soon, and they're gonna have the body spray as well as they had added to the collection.
I don't know if you saw this, Julie, but look on each one. So for Passion Fruit, it says joyful. And on the Montana Sky, it says grounding.
Oh, so there's a personality to it too.
Yeah.
I think I'll have to transition because the Indian coconut nectar says calm, or there may be a message.
That's
for
why
me.
you're mixing it. You just can't use that one on its own.
Exactly.
Oh, here you go. But your other one, your Silver Moon, is inspire. So that's fitting.
That's fitting.
That
so
works for you.
There's fun, cool things to do in store when we chat, when you chat with your customers on how to define which perfume they should get. So. Yeah, good kudos on Pacifica for this. Thank you for listening or watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe and send us your feedback at marketing@pureDelife.com. You can follow us on Instagram at PureDelife_LP and myself at JD_girlpower.
And I'm at Erin G. Macklin.
And join us next week as we interview Mike Fada, co-founder of Manitoba Harvest, best-selling author, keynote speaker, coach for rising entrepreneur.
He's a list, eh?
He's a list, so don't miss it.
Check it out.